We don't really know what the legal situation is with Jalen Carter as a fan. We haven't really heard about it. I brought in an expert for you guys. I brought in a legit Eagles fan lawyer. Yes, I said that right. An Eagles fan lawyer. So not only can this guy defend you, but I mean, he's going to be with you at the tailgate too. I got to thank my guy, Bill, for coming on the show tonight from Legal Hands to the Face podcast.
I'm doing good, Dalton. Thanks for having me on, man.
Hey, man, thanks for coming on. We're happy to have you. I mean, what is your thoughts on this whole Jalen Carter situation as a fan with a law perspective?
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm an attorney, but I'm really a wannabe Philly sports talk guy. So I have the Eagles podcast, and I hope and pray that my day job doesn't intersect with my dream job, because you never want the law and the Eagles mix, because it's not going to be good news. You know, with Jalen Carter, though, I mean, this is exactly the type of law that I practice, which is these civil lawsuits. Whenever there's a criminal matter like this where people are injured, and unfortunately in this case killed, there's going to be a civil lawsuit that follows. So I know that Jalen Carter and his team, they had to know that this was coming. They anticipated it. It's just the timing wasn't great. There was a lawsuit filed in May, and now a second lawsuit gets filed July 13th. And fans, we hear the numbers. They're seeking over $40 million, and it just brings all of this stuff back into the news. The hard thing is for this guy is he was 21 years old when this happened. And obviously what happened was horrible, and our heart goes out to the families involved, especially the ones who lost a loved one. But you look at it from Jalen Carter's perspective, only 21 years old. He's 22 years old now. He's a young kid. He's trying to find himself. You enter the NFL, like you said, it's your first season. And I think it's human nature. He probably wants to start embracing the fans, wants to be liked. What's interesting, too, is this lawsuit. It's not only against Jalen Carter. You know, Jalen Carter was not driving the vehicle that Devin Willock was in when he passed, and was not driving the vehicle that Victoria Bowles, who recently filed the lawsuit, was in. The person driving that vehicle was a University of Georgia staffer named Chandler LaCroix. And LaCroix's blood alcohol content was twice the legal limit, came in at 0.197. Well, Jalen Carter, what he was involved in was racing Chandler LaCroix and then left the scene, but was not in the vehicle or driving the vehicle of anyone that was injured or killed. Not that it absolves him entirely, but it's important to note because he's not the only person that's being sued. In addition to Jalen Carter, obviously the driver of the vehicle, Chandler LaCroix, was sued past, so it's the estate of Chandler LaCroix. But they also brought lawsuits against the strip club that they were at, as well as the University of Georgia Athletics. And the reason they brought the case against the strip club is because most states, and Georgia is one of them, have what's called dram shop. And a dram shop action is if you can prove that a bar or a restaurant that serves alcohol served to a visibly intoxicated person, then they share in the responsibility. And then what they brought against the University of Georgia was almost a negligent entrustment theory, saying that they should have known that this person had a bad driving history. They never should have had them involved with the team and doing all these other things. I don't know how strong of a case that's going to be. And then they also sued the car dealership that leased Jalen Carter the vehicle under the same theory, saying you should have known Jalen Carter sped a lot, because before this incident, he had 3 tickets apparently for speeding. You hear these $40 million in damages, but that's not all against Jalen Carter. There's other parties involved, and other parties that from the outside, and I don't know the full details, but from the outside looking in, you would think would have more culpability than Jalen Carter would. Jalen wasn't driving the vehicle. Chandler LaCroix was. Chandler LaCroix was twice the blood alcohol content limit.